There are a lot of politicians who are really big on the concept of consumer protection. Uh, the idea is that especially the least among us in this society can get trampled on and taken advantage of unless there are mechanisms in place to protect the weak among us, the easily duped. So there are three different ways that we have set up various consumer protections in this country. One of those is through litigation, lawsuits. People sue, and juries give them big awards, and therefore, through legal means, through the court system, consumers can be protected. Another way that we protect consumers is through regulation, government regulations. There are agencies, including the one that Elizabeth Warren, Senator Warren champions, that are consumer protection-oriented agencies that impose all kinds of regulations on banks and financial institutions and many other aspects of society in order to protect consumers. And then the third way that we protect consumers is simply through market mechanisms. In other words, consumers that pay for a product or a service that is bad, leave a bad review or don't use that product or service again, and that company goes out of business because it has to be able to compete against other companies that provide better products and services. So of those three ways to protect consumers, the third is by far the preferable one. Courts are invariably difficult, not predictable, not consistent, having really big judgments, like if a lady spills hot coffee on her leg at McDonald's and a jury awards her millions of dollars, that raises the cost of coffee for everybody in society. Every time something like that happens, it's far from an optimal solution. And many times, companies will do far more than consumers require in terms of going out of the way to keep something safe or whatever, simply because the cost of litigation is so high they can't risk that. But that raises the cost for everybody and causes companies to do lots of unnecessary stuff. It makes us not efficient. Regulations, government regulations are similar. There has to be some bureaucrat who just, sticks his finger in the wind and decides, thus shall it be. And, like OSHA, these things are going to be required and those things are not, simply because I deem it thus. Maybe the market, maybe individual consumers really want those protections, or maybe they don't. Maybe those protections needlessly raise the price of certain goods and services. It's very inefficient when it comes through government regulation. When it comes through the free market, it's very efficient. Then we get exactly what we want, exactly what we need. If I need, a car that's safe in this and this and this way, and a bunch of other people need that same kind of safety, then we are all going to only buy cars that offer that kind of safety. And the car manufacturers are going to go out of their way to target us and say, look, we meet or exceed all these safety things that you guys are wanting, therefore buy from us.